If I do it like side angles, you guys have better angles of what I'm actually doing. You see here from the side like this, he just got better angles right there. It's like, damn, Slee with jabs. Look, he uppercuts. He does everything. What is going on, everybody? Thank you very much for tuning in. Whew. That was a lot. That was a lot right there. That was a lot right there. Excellent game. Phenomenal game. I got to be honest with everyone. A lot of moments in that game, I didn't think Lakers were going to come out with a W. Just a phenomenal, phenomenal basketball game. And I'm not telling you it was pretty. I'm not telling you it was beautiful. Lakers could have obviously lost that game, easily could have lost that game, probably in some sense. Some poor execution from the Knicks down the stretch there, if you want to give Lakers credit, however you want to put it. Just a big-time game. Nationally televised game on TNT. Lakers and the Knicks, obviously the two top markets in the country, and it was as good as it gets. It really, really was. The one thing, and we got a lot to get into, so I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. I'll spend some time. We'll get into some of the interviews. We'll get a chance to look at all those. We'll get a chance to we'll definitely get a chance to give our thoughts, read comments, do all that stuff. We'll do everything today. Tonight. The only thing I'm just going to mention, the only kind of sour part about this game, I really hated Jalen Brunson getting that injury. Really, really kind of took the wind out of what was such a phenomenal game, and it was really a coin toss of who should win this game. Both teams were good. Both teams had stretches where they were bad. Both teams had momentum at one juncture of the game or not. It just, the way the game ended because Jalen Brunson got hurt, I absolutely hated it. And I'll probably mention that a few different times in tonight's show. This was a different type of win for the Lakers. The reason why I think Laker fans should look at this game and why it's different from some of the other W's that the Lakers had, which, by the way, that's 8 games in a row now. If I heard Chris McGee say it right, I want to say it's 20 out of their last 24 games, I think is what he said, as far as what the Lakers have done over this 24-game stretch. Just incredible basketball against a really, really tough, gritty Knicks team. A lot of talented players from the Knicks. But the reason why this one tonight I thought was different from a lot of the other games that the Lakers have played, this was not the Lakers jumping out to a 15-point lead or a 12-point lead or punching Denver in the mouth right out the gate or punching Boston out and leading the entire way, or the Knicks. When the Lakers played the Knicks on February 1st, the way they kind of got off to that start and then never let go of that lead, this one was different in the sense that they did jump out a little bit, right? Took a 9-10 point lead early on, but by the time you got to halftime, you felt like, all right, Knicks are kind of in control of this game. Knicks outscored the Lakers 33-20 in the second quarter. Third quarter basically was a wash. Both teams kind of played the same way, but it was that second quarter for the Knicks. There was a lot of different times that you just felt like, yeah, this is not going to be a Lakers game. Struggled from the 3-point line. What did Lakers end up shooting from three? They shot, if it wasn't for how they shot in the fourth quarter from the 3-point line, Lakers would 100% not have won this game. It really was the third quarter where the Lakers, the fourth quarter where the Lakers turned things around. But what impressed me about this game the most is, yeah, a lot of the role players through 3 quarters were not doing what they had been doing in the past. A lot of the possessions for the Lakers, they were very grinded out possessions. Knicks suffocating defense. Give the Knicks a lot of credit of why the Lakers didn't play well for 3 quarters. 3-point shooting, Lakers were struggling. I thought too many times the Lakers were waiting till the end of the shot clock and not getting a good shot off. I thought Luka Doncic, I thought there were plenty of times I'm like, Luka, stop complaining, just play ball. I felt like it was affecting a little bit of his game as well. And then the fourth quarter started. And Lakers were, they get it down to about 8 and then couldn't get over that hump. They got it down to 8, and it's like, are they going to get past 8? Then they got it down to 5, and then they got it down to 2. And then before you know it, these last couple of minutes, the game could have easily gone either way, and the Lakers find a way to win. But to me, I think that's what I take away with this game. It looked different than the other ones. What was important in this game is you got a good – Knicks got talent, period. I mean, they are 0-8 now against the Lakers, the Thunder, the Boston Celtics, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Those are the top 4 teams in the NBA right now, and they're 0-8 against those teams. And that is one of the things I was talking about on my show earlier this morning. That is one of the areas where the Knicks are struggling, but Knicks could have easily won this game. And I think, to me, this is why I look at this game. I look at this W a little bit different than some of the others because of how they won this game. It was a lot different than the others. Let's take a listen to JJ Redick.
Night like tonight, when felt like a lot of things didn't go our way, and what wasn't easy. They often can come from your non-stars, and I thought Jackson's defense in the second half, Gabe's shot making was huge. I mean, Gabe doesn't make those 4 threes. We're not even in the game. I think for the group overall, once we reached their level of effort and how hard they were playing, we were right there. And we all felt that in the second half. And again, it goes back to the poise thing. You make a run, you get it to 8, they go back up to 10 or 11. You make a run, you get it to 7, it goes back up. And our guys just stayed the course and refused to give in and let go of the rope. It seemed like Brunson had an answer for everything, and he was fantastic tonight. And our guys, in what felt like a playoff game at times, really just got it out a win.
Held them to 15 points in the fourth quarter. What did you see specifically on defense?
I thought our scramble was good. We had a couple really good veers. They got late in the shot clock a few times. We did a good job on drives of containing the basketball and then building back out and really forced them into some tough shots. And that again, that requires a lot of effort. It requires a lot of communication, and our guys were just phenomenal defensively in the second half.
Not that this should be surprising out of Austin Reeves, but it's his first game back in like a week. He wasn't shooting all that well. He wasn't playing down the stretch in the fourth quarter. He comes in overtime, and it's a big 3. Just what does it say about his role for this team and who he is as a player?
Yeah, it was big time. The 3 in the corner was huge. I think just the confidence, he's unwavering in that confidence. We felt really comfortable going into overtime, keeping that lineup. The plan was to get AR in, give Gabe a quick breather, and then go small. And then we couldn't take Jackson off the floor. The second efforts on the offensive glass, and then his just coverage defensively on and off the ball was great. And so just kind of rode that group out in overtime.
I'll get one more in here.
JJ, you said before the game that there are reference points and callbacks, like you said. If you can imagine a few weeks down the road, what's the reference point from this game that you'll use with your group?
Yeah, we had. I know this. It was funny because in the fourth, when it was like an 8-point game during a timeout, I like immediately. I think it was the start of the fourth. It was 8-point game, and Dalton hits that big 3, momentum changing, and I felt like it was a callback to the Sacramento game, which I think was, I don't know, what was that, the second or third game of the season, where we were down double digits in the end of the third, and Dalton hits a 3 to get us going, and Bron kind of takes over. And we haven't had many of those games because, frankly, we've had the lead a lot lately, and I think it's a good reminder for our group going forward that we can win games like this where we're not at our best offensively, where we get off to a slow start defensively, that we have enough toughness and grit to get these games.
All right, stop it right there. We got a lot to get into, so at least we catch JJ Redick right there. Yeah, that's kind of my point here, and JJ met it right there. That to me is the thing that I pay attention to most. Anything else from tonight's game? Can you win a muddy, grinded out, ugly game against a phenomenal team, a really good team. I mean, I know the Knicks got a lot to prove as well, but can you win a game where it just doesn't feel like you should be winning this game? Can you win a game like that? They did tonight. I've said this before. And listen, Lakers have had some games where, it's close down the stretch, probably too close against Minnesota, too close against Dallas. It's not like they haven't had close games. But I think a game like this, I like what JJ Redick mentioned at the end there, where he basically said, you can win stylistically a bunch of different ways. You guys know the phrase, good teams find ways to win. You're not 40-21 unless you're a good team. You don't win 8 games in a row in the NBA. I mean, I guess you can if you're not a good team, but Lakers have won 8 games in a row. 20 of 24 games. That doesn't happen unless you're a good team. And doesn't it feel like Lakers, whether it's ugly, whether it's pretty, whether it's beautiful, whether everybody's got going or they don't have it going, they find ways to win, and the Lakers did that again tonight. Good teams find ways to win. Okay, let's get into some of the players here real quick. I'll start looking at the comments here in a little bit. Obviously Gabe Vincent's contributions tonight. I'll actually highlight both players on the bench. I thought Gabe Vincent and even Dalton Knecht had a couple of moments where I agree with JJ. It was almost a game changer. I think it was him that hit the 3. I can't remember if it was him or Gabe Vincent that hit the 3 that took the lead from 8 to 5, where it didn't feel like Lakers can get any closer than 8. And then a couple of threes go down. Then all of a sudden it's like, hey, this is a couple of possessions of a game here. And Lakers are right back into this thing. But Gabe Vincent's big time threes, big time moments. I remember when the Lakers signed out of Miami. And the expectations was exactly what you saw tonight. Really, the last, I'd say 30 days from Gabe Vincent is the first time that you feel like, yeah, this is the guy that everybody thought they signed. Not that he's going to go off and pop off 25 points or 30 points or something like that in a game. But you think he's going to play defense, help you get stops, go guard one of the best guards, defend or be at least a pesky defender. Let's put it that way. Kind of a tough, gritty guy that comes from the Miami culture, whatever you want to call it. Well, he didn't get that all last year. He didn't get that for the first few months this year. For Gabe to have now kind of a stretch here where he feels like, okay, I'm part of the rotation. I feel like I belong. My shot's starting to fall a little bit more. I am contributing one way or the other. I'm finding different ways to contribute. It's a good game for him. And going back to the sidelines and just kind of seeing his facial expression and everything else, I haven't really seen that from Gabe Vincent that much from as a Laker. Knecht, I mentioned, he goes 4 of 8 from the three-point line. Between Dalton Knecht and Gabe Vincent, 7 3-pointers between those two guys. If they don't do what they did tonight, Lakers are, they probably lose this game by 8 or 10 points, something along those lines. So both Gabe Vincent and Dalton Knecht, I thought were key. I thought were huge. Just to hit on Jackson Hayes because that's what JJ Redick was hitting on. It's kind of, he's got an interesting role with the Lakers, and I think we all understand that. But he's been asked to do something. Nobody really believed that the Lakers have the size or the athleticism or any of that stuff, the right rim protector once they got Luka. And I will give him a ton of credit. Kind of doing everything he can. Throwing his body all over the place, giving as much effort as he possibly can. I don't think his stat line will ever really tell the full story of some of his contributions, but shout out to him as well. I thought he had a phenomenal game as well, just from that aspect of grinding it out. Okay. A couple other guys that I want to talk about here. Real quick, I just want to mention Austin Reeves. Clearly, Austin Reeves going to need a couple of games to just get back into a groove, get back into a rhythm. That was not Austin Reeves until he hit that corner 3 and he puts his hands up in the air and basically says, like, thank you, I finally hit a shot. I'm watching some of the highlights right here. Yep, was Knecht that hit a 3 that took it down to 7. That was a 3 that connected, but that was still early. That was still in the third quarter. And then it always felt like there was a down about 8 or so. And then he also hit the one at the end of the third quarter to bring it down to 8 because it was at 11. But back to Austin Reeves real quick. That was not Austin Reeves. I mean, whoever the heck that clearly was not the Austin Reeves we've been watching for most of this season, but that's okay. 2 of 13 from the field, 1 of 7 from the three-point line. He struggled. He wasn't good. The difference here is he missed a couple of games. He's probably rusty. The guy's going to need a little bit of time. The beauty is he could struggle from the three-point line. Braun struggled from the three-point line. Luka struggled from the three-point line. Dorian Finney-Smith struggled from the three-point line. Lakers still got a quality win against the Knicks. So I think that's something to really pay attention to as well. It's not just it's not just did you win the game? Did you lose the game? It's the context, the details. What did the details look like? If you can win a game and have that much difficulty shooting the ball, and I'm not trying to take anything away from the Knicks, give the Knicks a ton of credit. Their defense, kind of how they game planned against the Lakers at halftime. TNT was showing some stuff of how they first initially started blitzing Luka on the screen and roll, and then they kind of decided, no, let's not blitz. Let's kind of work over the top of them and try to be a little bit more strategic that way. But Luka would still find passes. He'd still find guys different shots. And again, Reeves struggles. Lakers still win the game. A lot of guys struggle from three. Lakers still win the game. I'm looking at the highlights here. They went down 94-90 after Josh Hart hit a corner three. And then the next three was just a tip ball. Jackson Hayes, great possession. Gabe Vincent, no hesitation. That's one of the backbreaker threes from the Lakers. He hit 2 in a row. He hit that one, and then he hit the next one after Lakers got to stop, and that kind of set the table for the Lake Show and kind of put him in a obviously in a phenomenal spot. All right, the stars here real quick, and then I want to get into a couple of things. It was actually Braun that tied it at 96. It was Gabe that hit the 99-96. Let me highlight the stars here real quick. How many minutes you guys think LeBron played tonight? Who do you think played the most minutes tonight on the basketball floor? OG Anunoby played 44. Josh Hart played 44. LeBron James played 44 minutes tonight. 31, 12, and 8. Luka Doncic played 43 minutes. 32, 12, and 7 with 4 steals. A lot of times it's, you're looking at the stars, you're paying attention to them, but you're also saying to yourself, okay, the stars are going to do their thing, so you don't got to pay too much attention to them. And that's exactly, obviously, what happened with the Lakers. But LeBron plays 44 minutes tonight. 44. And I still always have people complaining about him on the chat. By the way, not even just the chat. People that I know personally still complaining about LeBron. It is what it is. Nothing you can do about it. All right, let's take a look at some of these comments. A couple quick things. Number one, I appreciate you guys hanging out. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. I know there's a lot of different places you guys can be right now getting reaction to Laker games, and the fact that you guys choose this channel is very, very much appreciated. Please subscribe to the channel if you guys don't mind. I would really, really appreciate that. So thank you very much. By the way, I'm just going to point this out here because I got a couple people that keep doing this. I'll put a link on here too. If you want to be an MVP member, we do have a $3 a month membership. It's a phenomenal way to support the channel. I would love to get as many people as possible to be a part of the channel. So I'm going to shout out a couple of people that have either become new members or have gifted members, which people have been very kind about doing that. And I'm also going to put a link in here. If you can be a member, $3 a month, please be a member. Would love for you guys to be members, and I will take care of the members, but I'll just tell you it's a great way to support the channel. B, thank you very much for gifting a membership. That's very, very nice of you. Lamist R1 or Ike, no, KE. I don't know what I'm looking at. Mist R1 has become a member. Thank you very much. And then Mist R1 follows that up with 10 MVP memberships he's gifting. So somebody can take advantage of that. You got 30 days to be a member. Thank you very much for doing so. I greatly appreciate it. All right, if you want to be a member, I left a link there. Let's take a look at some of these comments here and keep things rolling. Francis, Lakers' most entertaining game so far. Let me tell you why. Listen, Lakers have had a lot of entertaining games. I mean, the win they had against the Knicks in the last game was entertaining if you're a Lakers fan. The win against Boston was clearly entertaining. The win at Denver, of course, was entertaining. Beating the Clippers 3 games in a row, all those were entertaining to me. But what made this game more entertaining than all the other games is you had no idea who's going to win the game. Just as simple as that. I had no idea who's going to win this game. There are plenty of moments I thought Knicks were going to win this game. You know, it's funny. I'm looking at the records right now. 40-22 Knicks, 40-21 Lakers. 4th best record now in the NBA, by the way. The top 2 teams, East and West, Cleveland, Boston, Lakers, OKC. And it's not just the top 2 teams. That's the top 4 teams in the NBA now. That's how high up the Lakers have shot themselves. They've catapulted all the way to the number 4 team in the entire NBA. They were just 5th in the West a week and a half ago. And here they are now, number 4 team in the entire NBA. But from an entertainment perspective, I think what made this game the most entertaining was merely the fact, Francis, like you mentioned right here, and like I mentioned as well, I didn't know who was going to win the game. Thank you for the super, Francis. JJM 300, what a hard-fought game. This team is grit. Yeah, I think one of the biggest compliments you can get when watching a team or rooting for a team that you like is grit, toughness, play hard, effort's never a question. All those things I think are very important key characteristics and key traits that you want to have for your squad. I think the Lakers fit that entire mold. They could play pretty basketball. You know, they could have Luka and LeBron, the ball moving and pretty passes and all that stuff. But they could also kind of sit you on your ass with guys like Jared Vanderbilt and Dorian Finney-Smith and some of the other guys that are a little bit more tough-minded on this Lakers team. So I like that combination. I like the combination of they can play different styles. You know, something I didn't mention as well, and I think a lot of times the way you play it kind of fits the mold of who your coach is, and JJ Redick continues to show that he's just a phenomenal coach in the NBA right now. But another thing to point out here, was this not a perfect example of JJ Redick just not getting married to, well, I got to play Austin Reeves because it's Austin Reeves. No, if he's not playing well, then I'll be smart about it. I'll put Gabe Vincent. That's another thing that stood out to me. Musab Awad, ugly win, Knicks overtime win record snapped. I'm okay with ugly wins. You know, I would never take the term ugly as a bad win. An ugly win to me is you just found a way to win, and it didn't matter how you got there. So, Musab, I appreciate the super. Jay, thank you for the super. Francis, thank you very much for the super. I appreciate it, guys. Let's get a couple more in here. Mitch Potter, I absolutely love seeing wins like that. As stressful as they are in the moment, we need those kind of tests. Gabe and DK showed up when it mattered. Damn, Dalton Knecht. How about Dalton Knecht getting some love this last week or so? Dalton Knecht, is that, I want to say 3 straight games he scored in double figures. Let me double check that here real quick. I could be wrong there, but let me double check. 19 against the Clippers, 13 against the Pelicans, 11 against the New York Knicks. Had 8 in that other game against the Clippers, and we were giving him some praise because he finally saw the ball go through the hoop. But that's almost 4 games in a row in double figures. That's great to see. And then Gabe, we already talked about as well how great he was. Mitch, thank you, brother. I appreciate the super there. Jerano's got a couple in a row here. We proved tonight we can win in different ways. Gutsy W. I agree with you there. Jerano with another super here. My gut is telling me we should hold on to Connect. Okay. The good news is you don't got to worry about that right now. Good news is you could wait till the offseason until you actually figure out what the Lakers are going to do, what they should do, how much has Dalton Knecht been able to contribute. I've said this a couple different times. I think the Lakers are in a phenomenal position come offseason, a really, really good position in the offseason. And if that keeps Dalton Knecht on this Lakers team, okay, great. Then they must have saw a reason why they want to keep him. If he's not, then they must have found somebody else that they feel like they need more. All right, Luka's talking right now. Let's get Luka's thoughts and hear what he's got to say about the win.
A gap like that.
First, we'll be more physical. I think we're, how you say, kind of sloppy, or how you say, I don't know, in the first half. But in the fourth quarter, we were physical, we couldn't stop, and then we just play our basketball on offensive end.
And when you zoom out and think about the 8 straight wins, just this home stretch, what are your kind of takeaways as you think about moving forward with this team?
It's great, but we got to approach next game with the same mentality and then go game by game. I know we got a tough stretch, but we got to approach these games with the same mentality and trying to get a win.
In an overtime win like this, it's hard to point to one moment. When you see role players, like even the way Dalton closed the third quarter, the threes by Gabe, the free throws by Jackson Hayes, how much does the team enjoy a win like that, even more so knowing that so many people contributed?
A lot. I think Gabe won us the game with those, what was three threes in the fourth quarter, and that was huge for us. And that's how we got the energy up. That's how we got the crowd in. And I think he won us the game there.
Luka, you've been a Laker for 14 games since the trade. I don't know if it feels longer or shorter than that, but curious what you've learned about this team in that time.
Just the chemistry. I think everybody gets along. That's really important. We're well connected. Obviously, there's room for improvement, but I think we're well connected. So I'm excited to be a part of this team.
On a night like tonight, when you guys are down 10 in the fourth quarter, is that where that chemistry and connection, is that when it really shows?
Yeah, even more. If you win that kind of games, come back, that kind of games, especially at home, get the crowd in it. You build kind of more chemistry, and those games are real sweet to win.
It was after the Minnesota win that Austin mentioned that it was.
Look how easy his numbers and his stats are just going up. Remember how he started to where he is now.
Some of the early shot making or lack thereof. For the bigger picture for this group, what do wins like this mean, and what does it say about the group and what you guys can accomplish for your bigger picture goals?
It means a lot. I don't think we played good today. I think we have, especially for the first 3 quarters, I don't think we played good. So
I agree.
That just showed the whole group together. Everybody's cheering for each other, and we gave each other a push that we need to win the games.
One more.
Okay. When you go to overtime after struggling, I think you used the word sloppy, but you came out and scored the first 5 points in that overtime. Are you mentally thinking, I need to get hot, or was that just part of the flow tonight?
I think it's a little bit of both. Especially I know that first 2 minutes in the overtime are really important. At least I think so. Get a good start, and then it's easier to win the game. So that was on my mind.
All right, we'll stop her right there. Okay, Luka. It's funny listening to him. I love when players say that. Like I like what Luka said. We didn't play good tonight. Like I don't think there's a reason to BS it. I don't think there's a reason to. No, we didn't play good tonight. But they still found a way to win. Kind of how they got there. I think he was looking at it as a positive thing. It's like, look, we can struggle through the first 3 quarters and still walk away with a win against, a quality opponent. All right, the Luka piece of it, I just want to look at his stats here real quick, what he did tonight. The reason why I pointed out the stats is because there are a few different times that, I'm doing a post-game show and Spectrum puts up his stats and through 5 games as a Laker, 7 games as a Laker. Now he's back up to, I think it's like 26, 8, and 8. It's like, yeah, and if you take away those first couple of games where he was, really just slowly working himself back as a Laker, but keeping all that in mind, and then here he is now, it's like, yeah, you're starting to get the version of Luka Doncic. And again, like I said, Luka his shooting tonight was not good. His 3-point shooting tonight was not good. 32, 12, 7, and 4 on a night where you're like, yeah, that wasn't a typical Luka night. And big shots. That's the other part of it. He says the first 2 minutes of overtime are key. I think it's key. That's what he said. jump out to a lead and then, obviously see that if you can hold on. So that just kind of gives you another kind of a little bit of the mentality of what he's thinking in a game like this and how critical moments like that are. Okay, we're going to get to some of your comments here in just a second. I know there's a lot of comments here coming. We'll get to all the supers. Even if it's not a super, I'm going to read as many comments as I can. Before I do so, I want to talk about the Wallace firm, Brad Wallace and the Wallace firm. Phenomenal partner of the channel, of the show. Very appreciative of their partnership. If you're in the state of California and this applies to you, listen, I hope it doesn't apply to you. I hope you never need him. You never need him or his firm. But if you or someone you know was in a serious injury, you should reach out to Brad Wallace and the Wallace firm. Let him walk you or your family through your legal options. I'm sure it's a very intimidating and daunting process. Let an expert in the field help you. And like I mentioned, he could help anybody in the state of California. I've personally known Brad Wallace for about 5 years. He used to advertise with me when I was on 710 ESPN. And here he is supporting me on my endeavor on YouTube, just 100% now on YouTube. And he's following me here as well and believes in what I'm doing. And I believe in his business and I believe in it enough to know that I'll make a personal introduction. If anybody wants an introduction and they're in a predicament or a situation like this, I'm happy to make an introduction to Brad Wallace. Got a URL out there, wallacewins.com/Sliwa. wallacewins.com/Sliwa. You can get a free consultation. Again, hope you never have to reach out to him, but if you do, he will be able to help. Like I mentioned, anyone that's been has been seriously injured or dealing with the loss of a loved one, you should 100% reach out to an expert, and that expert is Brad Wallace of the Wallace firm. So thank you to his partnership, and thank you for his support of the channel. All right, let's keep going here. I know we got a lot of different comments to get into. Let's take a look here at some of the comments. Let me get to the latest here. What has everybody got here? Oh, that's good. Right, that's good. Barkley needs the Wallace firm to help him make his case that the Lakers aren't contenders. That's good. That's good. We're going to need that. I'm going to save some of this for tomorrow. There's a lot of chatter about Barkley earlier today, talking about the Lakers going at ESPN. How funny is that? This guy is about to get employed by ESPN. He's like, I don't give a rat's ass. I think that's actually pretty funny. We'll spend some time on that tomorrow. When I'm doing the Sliwa show tomorrow at 8 a.m., we'll talk a little bit about some of those, comments from Barkley throwing shade at Kendrick Perkins over there. It's pretty funny, actually. It's pretty entertaining stuff there. And by the way, and I think there's some things that Barkley said that are fair, and I think there's some things that Barkley said where it's like, yeah, I don't know if he's helping himself here, but is what it is. Charles Barkley is Charles Barkley, and frankly, it is what it is up to this point. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see what he's got here. Luka's good at D because that wide body. Okay. All right. Thank you, Leon. Thank you. By the way, he does look in better shape than he was than when he first became a Laker. Can we at least give him that? I still think the guy's going to have to eventually lose 10, 15 pounds, something along those lines. So we'll see what happens when we get there. All right, let's get another one here. That really gets the heart pumping. Hopefully there's many more games like this with same results. I'm surprised they're having this success. All right, I want everyone to not bullshit me here for a second, okay? No bullshitting. No bullshit answers. Anybody think Lakers were going to be this good? I didn't think they were going to be this good at all. Not at all, but I didn't think they would be this good. All right, Bron's talking. Let's get Bron here real quick. Thank you, by the way. Somebody told me Bron's talking. You see this community? Everybody's helping each other.
Shots on the floor.
8 in a row. It's only, 6 days into March, but are you starting to sense something special brewing here?
It's just about work. We got to continue to put the work in. we have an opportunity to get better and better each and every game, and we still continue to learn each other. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing for us that we have room for improvement, and looking forward to seeing where we can become.
JJ said he's heard a constant refrain from other coaches before and after you guys play them that you guys play as hard as any kind of team they've seen in the league thus far. How do you gauge that, and what does that say about the kind of makeup of this team if it plays that hard?
We have to. It's part of our DNA. It's who we are. We have to play hard. We have to play physical. We have to bring the fight to the game, and everybody who checks in does the same thing, from the starters all the way to the bench. So, it's going to give us the best chance to win every night if we do that.
What did you like about the bench and some of the non-key players tonight?
And there's no such thing as non-key players on this team. Everybody is key, and everybody steps on the floor has a role, and they go in and match that. And I thought our bench gave us a great lift once again, and Gabe was single him out. He was spectacular. His play both on the defensive end and obviously with the shooting that we needed. We were not making any outside shots.
One of the things JJ said pregame was that he can point to games this year and say, like, we did this right in this moment, and you can use that as the Coolers for it. What do you think the lesson is from this game?
Every game is going to have its own challenges. Every game is going to be difficult, and it's going to matter if you're up or down, whatever the case may be. The game is not over until zero's on the clock, and then we even got an extra 5 today. So, we got to, no matter what happens, it's each possession, how we can maximize each possession to get better and better offensively, defensively, continue to break through, and was able to do that with a very great team tonight.
LeBron, several of your rebounds.
Look at LeBron's stats. His points going up, his assists coming down because he's letting Luka basically lead the way on some of this. 44 minutes for LeBron tonight.
Thing without AD, how do you kind of think about the glass?
I've always been a pretty good rebounder in my career and in my life. Once I started playing the game and being able to just try to read the ball off the rim or the trajectory off the rim, get a body on my matchup, try to neutralize him if it's a bigger guy, or him trying to jump over my back or whatever. And if it's a smaller guy, make sure you don't get hit with quickness. So it's very important that we clean glass, especially if we're a team that gets stops. We don't want to give second opportunities. And if I'm down there, I have to help. Obviously, do my part.
You guys have
All right, final one.
25 games. Does this trip to Boston feel different?
No, not at all.
Everyone keeps trying to explain this team's chemistry and just the really strong identity. I'm just wondering, from your point of view, how is a team of mid-season acquisitions, holdovers, and first years melded so quickly?
I think we're just holding each other accountable. We want to get better. This is a product of winning when it comes to this league and this part of the Lakers franchise. They've won so much, and you always want to be on that side of the fence. So guys are buying into what JJ and the coaches have. Gives us every single night our keys to success, our keys to goals, and then we just try to go out and execute that. It's close to 48 minutes or 53, like I said tonight, and live with the results. And if we do what the coaches have are putting out there, we can be okay when we lose or draw at the end of the night.
All right, stop right there. Keep things going here. Most regular season wins all time: Kareem, Parrish, LeBron, and Tim Duncan. There's going to be no records left by the time LeBron's done with his career. He's going to have passed every record that's out there. I like LeBron downplaying the Celtics game on Saturday. Come on, bro. Just tell everybody it's a big game. It's a big game. What are you going to do? It's a big game. I haven't even talked anything about Saturday's game. It's kind of a trip that they got a game coming up on Saturday against Boston. But because this game was so good and because it was another win and because it's the Knicks, and I mean, there's obviously a lot of things. And, I'm happy Lakers have also not kind of overlooked their opponents. I thought a lot of people were overlooking the Pelicans game, and I thought, oh my God, this game's going to be a problem. Won by 20, whatever they won by. I thought this game, not that the Lakers were going to overlook the Knicks, but it's the game before you go on a really tough road trip that includes the Celtics, the Bucks, the Denver Nuggets. You just kind of thought for a quick second there, okay, maybe they lose focus here. Okay, I'm not telling you it was perfect, but that was a grinded out game. And then you got obviously you got the game coming up on Saturday. Okay, a couple other things from Ron. The reason why I was mentioning it. Do you guys see that stat? The stat that it said last 8 games for LeBron. And you saw on there that his points are almost at 30, but his assists are down to 5-ish. I've never seen Bron around 5 assists a game. That's just not in Bron's DNA. Unless he got Luka Doncic to come play with him, and he's trying to do what's in the best interest of the team. And, obviously put the team in a position where, okay, how can I be most effective? Well, if our team's better off with Luka as the quarterback and let him have the 12, 13, 15 dimes a game, then go ahead and do it. And he's going to benefit off of that either way, because either he's the recipient of some of those buckets or some of those passes that are coming from Luka, or there's less attention on him because they're also worried about Luka. All right, let's get a couple more comments in here. Not a couple more. We're going to be here for a while. Sit back. Do me a favor, everybody, real quick here. Go tell the wife and the kids, listen, I don't know what time I'm coming in the room tonight. Or if you live alone, then you don't have to tell anybody there. Or if you need to go tell your husband or your partner, whoever it is, just say, guys, we got a late night tonight. Slee's already told me tonight's we're getting extra shots up at the gym. That's what we're doing tonight. Okay? Everybody's getting ready to take off. We're taking free throws. We got a lot going on. There's a lot of people here, a lot of comments, a lot of thoughts people have. Shout out, by the way. I got a couple of people that were doing this. Tell me that LeBron was talking, which then threw me to, okay, well, LeBron's talking. So let me go to the LeBron interview real quick. But that's what we call, that's like team defense. Somebody yelling, trap, help. That's kind of what happens in our chat here. Look at this, Bron talking. Bron is speaking. People throwing assists everywhere. All right, I got somebody on here that also said, Slee, Dorian needs to start making some threes. I'm with you on that. Here's the good news with Dorian Finney-Smith is he's such an effective player, and he's such a phenomenal defender, and he adds this vibe and this toughness to the team that he's still of value. But I'm with you. Eventually, he's going to have to start hitting some of those shots. He's going to have to start hitting some of those threes. They're going to need him to hit some of those threes. So I'm with you on that. I threw this question out here right before Bron started talking. And then, of course, Bron started talking. I asked everybody, I told everyone, don't BS me. And I asked the question of, did anybody think Lakers would have this much success? That is, to me, one of the main things that I think I've taken away so far from this season. I don't want to say it's out of left field, but it's kind of out of left field. I thought the rest of the season would be interesting. I thought it would be fun because you get to watch LeBron and Luka. I thought the future is set for the Lakers, but guys, the roster is flawed. Come on. I mean, how much noise can they really make? And when I asked the question is, did anybody kind of see this coming? Look at the comments. No, not this quickly. Nope. No. Okay. When they got Luka, yes. Calvin, you might be on your own on this. I didn't think they'd be shooting up the standings like this. They beat this many good teams. They've now won 12 games in a row against teams over 500. Okay? Defense came out of nowhere. Here's another no. I thought we were punting the season when we got rid of AD. And by the way, I don't even know if it's punting the season, but it was just like, guys, this is a no-brainer. We got to make this trade. Even if this affected our chances to maybe win this year, is what it is. We'll move on. Here's a hell no. No, I thought it was going to be ass low-key. Okay, you're not the only one. Not defensively, not this year. Okay, we got somebody that said yes. We got a couple people. Let me put it this way. For every 8 people that say no, maybe 2 people are saying yes. It's Bron and Lucas Lee. I get that. But you still need a squad. And frankly, I think this is why I think so many people have why Lakers have been such a storyline. Yes, it is the Lakers and Luka got traded to the Lakers. But it's instant success as well. Yes, I've watched Luka's whole career. He is no joke. All right, I appreciate all those comments there. Okay, I'm really behind here. Got a lot of supers to get here. Listen, go tell the family. We're going to be here till sunrise. I'm going to go actually straight from the post game directly to my 8 a.m. show. All right, some people already threw in some supers, so thank you very much for doing that. I mentioned some of the new members we got here. B, thanks for being a member. Miss, thank you for being a member. And then Miss went out of his way and gifted 10 new memberships. I appreciate that, brother. A couple other members I want to shout out. Dragon Radar has become a new member. Thank you, brother. Welcome. You know what's something cool? Every time we get a new member, I got the chat saying, hey, welcome as being a member. So that's pretty cool. Mitch has gifted 5 new memberships out there. Mitch has done this a few times. Mitch, you're too generous. Thank you very much for doing so, brother. I really appreciate it. And then one more shout out here. Ernie, the team playing hard, stepping up on defense. No question about it. They are doing that. They're definitely doing that. Okay, let me keep going on some of I got a lot of supers here that I want to get into, and then I'll get to some of the other comments as well. Nobody talking right now. And frankly, I kind of just wanted to hear from LeBron, Luka, and JJ. Amir says, I think this game showed that having Reeves at his peak transforms our team. When he struggles, it gets tough. Also, cue the OG Sliwa boxing celebration. Okay, let me say this real quick. I think there's something about what you're saying there. About when Reeves got it going, do the Lakers just have can they take it another level? I got to be honest with you. I think it's actually very beneficial to have a game like this where Reeves struggles. And guys like Gabe Vincent can get a little bit more confident in their game. Guys like Dalton Knecht can get a little bit more confident in their game. I'm a fan of that as well. So I think there are definitely times where if Austin Reeves, LeBron, and Luka all have it going in a game, it's going to be tough to beat them. But even in a game like this where, okay, Reeves needs some time to get back into being Austin Reeves, I think there's still some benefit in that if you can get other players to step up and it helps their confidence. Amir, thank you for the super, brother. All right, let's keep going down the list here of some of the supers we got going on here. Lakers toughness and will. Great coaching tonight. Yeah, John, I mentioned this a little bit earlier. I've mentioned this actually a lot about JJ. JJ's never married to anything. This is working. Cool. We'll keep doing it. This isn't working. Cool. No problem. We'll just adjust and we'll try something different. It's okay. There's no hard feelings. I don't think anybody on the team, I don't think when Austin Reeves was, hey, come sit over here. I'm going to let Gabe play right now. He's playing better than you. I think Austin Reeves was bitching and complaining on the sideline. Okay. That means the team believes in your message. Thank you, John. I appreciate it, brother. Laker Blue 88. Both teams played hard. It's how I started the show, and I haven't mentioned it since. I'm actually surprised. I thought I'd mention it a little bit earlier. Hate Jalen Brunson got hurt. Absolutely hate that Jalen Brunson got hurt. Brunson was cooking tonight. What's crazy is, do you know a couple years ago, the backcourt of the Dallas Mavericks was Luka Doncic and Jalen Brunson? You guys remember, I remember I was doing a show one time with Trav. Travis and I were doing our show on 710, and Luka didn't play in a game. And Jalen Brunson just went off on the Lakers. I don't know what he had, maybe 35, some of them. He might have even had 40. I don't remember. And we both are doing the show the next morning. We're like, Jalen freaking Brunson? Are you really going to let Jalen Brunson go? I think Dante Exum had a great game. But that was the backcourt for the Dallas Mavericks. Brunson, the way he churned his ankle, before he churned his ankle, had 39 and 10. Shot 50% from the field, struggled from the three-point line, but was getting to the free throw line. Brunson was a stud. That's the only part that, was really disappointing tonight, was that Jalen Brunson couldn't finish off the game. And I do agree. Both teams were solid tonight. Kevin Brown, thank you for being a member. Kevin, can we send a little love to the Pelicans for deferring the first-round pick? Enjoy the 27th. Thanks for DK. I like that. That's right. I don't know what it is. I think anytime I see somebody type anything about Dalton Knecht, I get happy about it. because I want Dalton Knecht to do well. You know, I want Dalton Knecht to play well. I want Dalton Knecht to have, because of how his season went, so many ups and downs, and then literally got traded and it was rescinded. And a lot of people that are on here, maybe you watch basketball for a long time. I don't remember too many rescinded trades. Goes all the way out to Charlotte, flies out to Detroit because they're about to play a game, and then gets a call from Palenka. He's like, hey, why don't you come back here? We were just kidding. You're not getting traded. Come on back, bro. You're a Laker. What are you doing here? Get your ass back in the gym. Kevin, thank you for the super brother. I appreciate you very much. What do we got going on Instagram? Let's see what we got here. Anyone else surprised how many Knicks fans there were? Carson 2018A. No, I'm not. Knicks fans travel. They come out. So I'm really not surprised about how many Knicks fans. This is kind of how it goes. They come out, they travel, and they're really, really good. They're, top 3 in the Eastern Conference. It's not like you could say that about the Knicks all the time. So I think that has something to do with it as well. Let me get another one here on Instagram. Noah Blake. Also, the officiating was atrocious. It can definitely get demoralizing when you can't seem to get a call. And every time you brush against the other team, they get the call. If you told me, do you want the refs to be blowing the whistle more or blowing the whistle less? I'll take my chances of saying that both teams hopefully are getting less calls. HH, thank you, brother. HH, very, very much appreciated. The 20 spot by HH. Thank you, brother. Cheers to an intense overtime. It's kind of funny. Once Brunson went out, I'm like, Knicks don't have anybody to go to on offense. At least in the middle of a game, they were so accustomed to what the offense was. I know Anunoby got that and one. But you kind of felt like, okay, if he's out of the game, I don't know if Lakers are losing this game. HH, thank you, brother. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for the super, very, very generous amount there. Let's get to Logan here. Team leaned on Luka all night. He pulled us through. I think it was kind of back and forth, to be honest with you. I don't think this was one of those games where it was just Luka. Bron was also, I was watching at Spectrum on in the background. That 3 that Gabe Vincent hit to put the Lakers up 99-96, it was LeBron who was basically 1-on-4 or 2-on-4 and decided, you know what, I'm going to draw the defense in, I'm going to kick the game. I think there was more than just Luka tonight. This wasn't, one player. I know there's a lot of times we've seen individual performances and you're like, yep, that was that man's game. Jalen Brunson for the Knicks, that was kind of like, okay, yeah, there were other people that were contributing, but he's got he's responsible for over half of your points because of the points and the actual assists, literally. Over half of your points. I didn't think it was like that from Luka tonight, but I'd rather have multiple guys contributing than one. Let's get another one here. Bovo, thank you for the supers. Slee, love the show in the shadow box. I know that MVP narrative is a toss-up between Jokic and Shea. Is it unreasonable to add Bron in there? Okay, let me actually, I've heard more and more people talking about this. I don't think it's unreasonable to have LeBron a part of the conversation and maybe on that ballot. He's not going to win it. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander should win the most valuable player of the year award. He should. Shea should win it this year, period. Jokic is going to be in the conversation. I think, unfortunately for the Cavs, I don't want to say fortunately, unfortunately, but they have such a balance with everything they do. I don't think Donovan Mitchell is going to be making an MVP ballot. So I say all that because, yes, it's probably a 2-horse race, and it's probably already going to go to Shea, just their record and how great they've been and how brilliant he's been. But LeBron should be at least in the, hey, if you have to put X amount of players on a ballot, I think you could easily make a case for LeBron, especially look at the Lakers record now. A lot of times, players can't get a part of that ballot because their team's not good. Lakers are second in the entire West. 4th in the entire NBA. We get any of Gabe or is it over? Let's see if we can get a little bit of
Into
Gabe.
the playoffs, you got to win some games in the mud, so to speak. So this game was a little bit in the mud. You know, the Knicks are great at that. They really defend well. They make it a gritty, tough game. So it's a great test for us to go out there and fight and to compete and get that win the way we did.
Your teammates are looking to you in those moments, and you step up and knock those down. How good does that feel?
It's great, man. I mean, it's part of why I'm here. You know what I mean? It's part of why I'm here is what I've done at those moments and late in the season. So just trying to take that experience I've had and built and just trying to continue to keep up with games. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
All right, let's see what Gabe can continue to do this season. I think that's going to be the key now is can he be consistent? Can he be a player that Lakers depend on? Can he build off of what he's done over the last 30 days? That part's going to be key as well. Above all, just go back to what we were saying here. Number one, thank you for the super. And I hope Ron is part of some kind of conversation when it comes to that. Let's get Mitch in here. We lean on Luka, discredits LeBron in the clutch. Yeah, I got nothing but love for LeBron. I really do. I got nothing but love. That's it. I mean, that it's just as simple as that. Doing what he's doing at this age, playing 44 minutes tonight in an overtime game against the Knicks, never is doesn't cut the game short. Let's put it that way. Laker Blue with another one here. I'll never forget Bill Russell telling the Celtics in 2002, there's no such thing as an ugly win when they won a playoff game scoring about 66 points. Yeah, I mean, you want it to be pretty or you want to win. And stylistically for the Knicks, especially, with their head coach, that's a little bit of, we'll muddy up the water and we'll take our chances. And you've heard JJ Redick say this, LeBron say this, Luka say it, Gabe Vincent just said it right there too. The way they won this game was different as well. All right, I'm going to power through a couple more of these here. Rui was missed. I got to be honest with you, and this is no shade towards Rui. I kind of forgot about Rui. That part, obviously having him back and getting some of these lineups the way you want to get these lineups back and having the proper rotations and all that stuff. But that's more of a compliment how the Lakers are playing. I mean, hell, even when Reeves was out, there were times, I think I mentioned it last postgame, that if I wasn't looking at the sidelines and seeing Reeves out there, there were times I forgot Reeves was out because they keep winning. You talk about the people that you don't have when you lose. You talk about it less when your team keeps winning. Thank you, Seiko. Hero Son, even when the Knicks were up 9, it still looked like we had them under pressure. Reminds me of the Kobe, Fish, and Horry days when we just squeezed teams until they would break. Let's effing go. Okay, let me tell you something. That's how you felt. That's not how I felt. I actually felt like the Knicks had enough of a cushion, enough talent. Jalen Brunson was cooking. They obviously got a lot of players that can play well. Tom Thibodeau is more of a defensive-minded coach to begin with, so they're going to lock down. I don't think I had the same confidence that you did. You might have had that confidence. I don't feel like I had the same amount of confidence in regards to that. Hero, thank you very much, brother. A 10th spot right there. Very, very kind of you. Very, very nice of you. Let's keep going here. What was our biggest hole on D? What was our biggest hole on D we need to address? Teams are going to have a tendency to try to push the ball on the Lakers. I think that's going to start happening more and more. I think the question for the Lakers is just going to be, if you run into a squad that just they try to go like kind of what Dallas was trying to do. If they try to go real big on you, Lakers have done so well defensively right now. I'm having kind of trouble thinking of this off the top of my head because they've been able to address everything. But the only thing I could think of is another team just has too much size, or a guy like Jokic is just completely unstoppable. But Jokic was unstoppable when AD was here. So I don't even know if that applies to it. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Roger Smith, thank you very much. I appreciate it. LeBron is better than he's ever been right now. I don't think so. I think back to those finals, 2016. I think back during that time. I think that was the best version of LeBron. I think LeBron right now he's a top 5-6 player in the league. Might even be better than that. I mean, he's as elite as it gets. But what LeBron was 5-6 years ago, he's the best player in the world, right? Or in 2016, 2017, he's the best player in the world. So that's the only difference. The difference is he moved back a couple of slots. But I know what you're referring to, too, is the fact that he's able to do what he's doing right now, and he's doing it and kind of playing a completely different role since Luka got here. David Sabatini, hey, Slee, is there any chance you could start your show at noon? 3 o'clock Eastern time. That works better for my schedule. I appreciate it, buddy. David, I'm working on that now. Yep, we're gonna. You know what? And if there's other people that want me to start at a different time too, maybe I'll just do separate shows for multiple people. Maybe David, if you want it to be at noon, 3 Eastern, maybe somebody wants it at 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern. We'll just keep shifting. David, thank you, brother. Appreciate the super, brother. Hey, Alan, this is my first time here for a live. I'm Australian, Assyrian, and a diehard Lakers fan. Jovan brought me here. Okay, there you go. There you go. Look at you. Australian, Assyrian. That's awesome. Braden, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being a part of the show. Jovan's got a phenomenal show too, so I'm glad that you worked your way here through his channel. So thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. All right, let's get some other ones here. LeBron James played the most beautiful basketball I've ever seen. I don't get the GOAT conversation, but tonight proves my point. Even when it's ugly, he's beautiful. He saved our ass tonight. Some people love those GOAT conversations. I can't do it. I can't do it. By the way, I have people now telling me Ashwin would like it 5 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Okay. Somebody else saying current schedule works for them. Slee, don't patronize us. You need to start the morning show at 10, especially after W's like this, because 8 is ridiculous. Can I tell you something? You think when I'm up at 6:30 after doing a show like this, I'm saying to myself, hey, this is a great time. You know, eventually I was thinking, I'm like, okay, maybe I don't do the post-game show anymore, and I just do an 8 a.m. show. That's kind of the original concept. Then I'm like, no, we got to do the post-game show. I'll shut your mouth and do the post-game show. That's basically what I told myself. Let's get a couple more here. 10-0 when DFS starts, I believe. Kevin, you can't say I believe. You're giving me a stat, and I'm thinking that I could run with this. Either he's 10-0 when he starts or it's not. Do a little bit more research there. But if it is, I want to steal that stat from you. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate you. Slee, this team plays with heart, energy, and effort. Lakers can win the title this year. You can book it. Yeah, it's crazy to say. That really is. I'm just being honest with you. That's crazy to say that they actually potentially have a shot at winning an NBA championship. If I'd have told you that 2 months ago, you'd have been like, okay, well, everything's got to go perfect and you're smoking. If I'd have told you a month ago, I think that's still probably the conversation. Actually, I don't even think it's the perfect part. It's like, no, guys, it's not about this year. It's about the future. Now you can have legitimate conversations and say, yeah, that's going to be a really, really tough out in the postseason. Thank you very much for the super. Guys, thank you all for the supers. I appreciate it. This is how you win in the playoffs, winning ugly. I'll take that, John. Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. You know, I've always said this before. What do we say? Actually, I was talking about it. We're getting closer to the Super Bowl, and it was Philly style. Play defense and run the ball. That's what you need to do in the playoffs. In baseball, pitch and play defense. Don't make mistakes out in the, on the defensive side of things. I'll use the Yankees as an example there, right? It might not be pretty, but it gets the job done. In the NBA, rebound, play defense, and have a couple of stars. It doesn't have to be pretty, but the goal is to win a championship. It's not supposed to be pretty. John, another one here from here. DK comeback player of the year for the Lakers. Yeah, I just hope he keeps building off of it. It's the best I can put. I hope he keeps building off of it, and hopefully that's going to be happening. Another super in here. LeBron MVP. JJ Coach of the Year. Rob Executive of the Year. Luka Finals MVP. making predictions here. Jay Cordy is making full predictions. Jay, I appreciate the super, brother. Very, very nice of you. I appreciate you doing that. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, listen, they don't have to do all that, but put LeBron in the conversation. Put JJ in the conversation. I mean, Rob and Nico can share that award together. And then Luka Finals MVP. Nobody's going to be complaining about that. All right, with all that being said, we got another show coming up tomorrow at 8 a.m. And Lakers got the Celtics coming up on Saturday. Man, kind of crazy. Crazy how things just kind of changed so quickly here for the Lakers. Alex Brunson's injury did take the wind out of the New York sails. Hate to see a guy go down. I'm with you 100%. Hated that. That was a part of the game where I'm like, don't tell me that. Look how good this game has been. Brunson is slicing and dicing the Lakers. Lakers are coming back on the other end. If this is a boxing match, it's like, all right, he's throwing haymakers. They're throwing haymakers. This is just exactly what you want to see. And then the other boxer breaks his wrist, and you're like, okay, the fight's got to stop. And that was a little bit of what happened tonight at a juncture of the game where obviously everything was cooking. Okay, I think we're good here, people. I think we've done our job here. Big W, Slee. Post and pregame sleeve for Saturday's refrigerator win. Saturday's going to be fun. All right, let me update everybody what we got going on, NBA standings, all that stuff. I didn't even really get to see. The only other game I saw, I think Warriors squeaked out a win in Brooklyn. Okay, so Lakers now. Houston finally got a win. So nothing really changed standings-wise. Lakers got 21 losses. Denver's got 22. Memphis with 24. Houston with 25. Golden State trying to make a little bit of noise here. Warriors are going to try to see if they could sneak up to that number 5 spot as teams like the Clippers are going in the wrong direction. The Mavs obviously going in the wrong direction. So that's what we got there. I want to look at a couple scores around the NBA. I'm just curious for myself here. Celtics won, Warriors won by 2, and then Rockets beat the Pelicans. Okay. Final updates here, and then we're going to get the hell out of here. Tomorrow, 8 a.m., we'll do our regular show. Sammy will be doing a preview video for Lakers and the Celtics that will come out tomorrow night. And then I'll come back on Saturday after the Lakers take on the Celtics and do the postgame show. So tomorrow at 8 a.m., if you can be here, we'll continue the conversation. I'll get into more of the other storylines. I got some reaction from people as well. I was talking about Jeannie's comments on Anthony Davis. Was actually a little critical on Jeannie Buss. I think it was necessary for her. I thought she took a shot at Anthony Davis. I'll read some of the comments from yesterday or from today that people had. A lot of people actually kind of disagreeing with me, which is completely fine. I'm completely okay with that. I'd love to have that dialogue and that conversation. So tomorrow we'll be back at 8 a.m. If you've yet to subscribe to the channel, please subscribe. Maybe literally 50, 60 to get to 31,000, something like that. So the channel keeps growing. I appreciate everybody's support. That is all we got for tonight. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, and we'll keep this conversation going. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your evening.